One, two, three. Want to welcome everybody to Mom and Dad Talks. Our favorite two people are Mom and Dad. Wave to everybody, Mom and Dad.
Oh, mom and dad.
Yeah, and Hantie. Well, your mom and dad too, Hantie. Your mother. Hantie, how you doing, Hantie? That's my
Doing all
Hantie
right.
right there. That's good. That's good to see everybody here. I think this is an interesting one because a lot of times we are really thick in conversation, but sometimes a little lighter note I think is good for our audience here. But Angel Reese, she plays for the WNBA. She used to play for LSU Tigers, and she won a championship for LSU in college. But she was slammed for complaining about making 74,000 on the WNBA salary while paying $8,000 in rent. Um, lot of words there. What do you all think about that?
I think sometimes you have to live within your means.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes.
Yeah, all the time you have to live because $8,000 a month, that's going to take a lot of your money. You have nothing to eat on.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
When you say $8,000 a month for her rent
Yep.
and salary is $74,000 a year,
Mm-hmm.
let's divide 8 into 74 and see what we get from that figure.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a great point.
74,000 and go very
Mm-hmm.
$74,000 a year over a 12-month period does not go far at all when your rent is way over your income that you bring in.
well, just figure, what is 8,000 times 12?
Mm.
Eight
How much?
times 12. 8 times 12.
8,000 times 12.
$96,000.
So
Okay.
she's living beyond what she's getting paid.
She's living way above her means.
Like
Right.
$22,000 above just for living in a place. And I'm sure hopefully it's a nice place that she has there. And in fairness to her, just to let everybody give a context, according to some reports, January 5th, 2024, Angel Reese's valuation of her NIL was valuated at 1.8 million. So technically speaking, she was making more in college than she is as a WNBA player. With their NIL deal. Now, with that being said, you guys have gone through periods of times in your life where you had to downsize. How is that when you have to down? I know I have. I wasn't making as much money at point in time in my life, and I had to downsize. Had to, not eat lunch and buy lunch every day. I had to eat, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and stuff like that. And
Those are so good.
I just had to cut back a whole lot just to live. And even, with the car. I mean, in fact, when I had two homes, I had to cut back. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise I would have been in trouble.
Right.
Because, that's one thing when you realize, hey, what I'm bringing in can bring you
My
to the
outgo is
brink.
more than in my income.
Yeah. And so, obviously, I'm I understand her point what she was trying to make here, but you're not making the money that you're used to making, and now you're living off of endorsements where those endorsements should go probably to some other investment that makes you money versus you using to spend money and living high on the hog. But what do you yes, Hanty?
You probably don't know about this because I think you and CJ maybe were just little boys when in the time um, your when you applied for a home
Mm-hmm.
and they took your salary and divided it, and they would not allow you to have a mortgage more than 1/4 of your salary.
Mm-hmm.
I think those may I'm probably off on that because I don't even remember
Mm-hmm.
all the figures, but they wanted to make sure that you could still afford to eat and that you would be able to make your mortgage payment.
Hmm.
and it seems like it was one one quarter of your salary. I don't know,
Well,
but
it makes sense because they want to make sure they protect their assets and make sure they get paid and not stuck with a house that
and
doesn't
you're
have
not
equity.
homeless.
Yeah, you're not homeless, and really it comes down to they want to get their money back, and
Mm-hmm.
the only way they get their money back is to ensure that you can pay it and you have a job that's secure enough to pay it with a career, and that's why they
Mm-hmm.
take generally your spouse, especially now. I mean, when you guys were coming up, that you had one income household could take care of all your bills. Now we're living in a day and age where you have to have two people working just to have a decent house, what we call decent today,
Mhm.
and moving forward with that. So, maybe our taste buds have gotten out of whack, but I mean, it's a very intriguing thing to me about Angel Reese and her thing there is like, hey, you know what? And I hope the best for her. Like I said, I understand what she was trying to do, but it kind of backfired on her,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
So what is I did you read the article already or
Yeah, yeah. So basically, in essence, she was complaining, Angel Reese, and WNBA player, she was complaining about her $74,000 salary,
Mhm.
not able to afford um her
where
being
she,
being able to afford her $8,000, and she placed with Chicago Sky, not too far from where you guys live, not able to cover her $8,000 rent in Chicago.
Okay. Uh,
so so is there a what is she going to do, a GoFundMe or something?
Well, I think she's got. Well, hopefully, from her endorsements in college that she was able to make, because now you have what's called NIL. Um, so name,
Oh
image, and
yes.
likeness. So the money she made from there, hopefully she's using that to help augment her
Mhm.
expenses, and
yeah.
hopefully she pockets some of that money away so that she can, have a better life in the end, and hopefully, I mean, I was hoping that she would buy a home versus rent a home for that much.
My take,
Well,
my take on something like that is knowing what your income is and knowing where you're living or where you would like to live. You have to always make an assessment of what you can really afford on what you make.
Hmm.
So she's really out of there's really nothing that anybody can suggest to her, not even looking for future endorsements, counting on that to help her with her rent. My suggestion to her would
Hmm.
be downsize and no, and find something that would be that you can meet with the salary that you're making for a place to live in. Now, a couple $1,000s a month, she should be able to afford something like that. And there are places I'm sure that are presentable and comfortable for a couple $1,000s a month to rent. That's what I would kind of suggest to do.
Well, as of October 2024, the average rent in Chicago is $1,847 per month.
Mm-hmm.
This is higher than the national average rent price of 1,557
And,
per month, making
and
Chicago one of the most expensive cities in the US per apartments.com.
do they say what the salary should be on a person that has a rent of almost $2,000 a month?
good
Um,
question. Good question.
well, like I said, the average rent, so the average house rent in Chicago is, about 1847.
I understand that.
So the point really is you're living well, your salary ain't matching where you living.
That's what right. So my point here is if she could downsize and get 1800 to $2,000 a month rent, find a place suitable for her for that amount for what she's making. I would never want to be comfortable about not making very much in a
Mhm.
salary and then it's my choice to live high on the hog and get a place that I can't afford. It doesn't come up to balancing to me.
What's that? I think
I wonder if she has a car.
well, I think she's making money off her endorsements.
Well,
Mhm.
is that okay? Is that in addition to what her 74,000?
Yes, that's in
Well,
addition.
well, then if she's able to do that if she knows how much her endorsements are, that she can
Oh,
depend
she
on
needs
that.
to pull their coattail.
Yeah, well, I'm
Mhm.
just saying if the endorsements can pay her rent, then that's okay.
I think that's probably what's happening. With her,
About.
either she's going back from her college days of what she made, or
Mm,
she's paying her for her endorsement, using her endorsements to pay it.
mm.
It's really sparked a great discussion of how people say I should spend my money. Yes, you should spend the money where you want, but just know you'll go broke at some point when you go into a deficit.
Right.
The math don't add up after a while.
And then she could be negotiating for a higher salary.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
that's a very real possibility. She could be telling them, well, $73,000 is not enough money. You've got to pay me more money to play
Mhm.
basketball.
Yeah, well, think about
I
this.
can't afford my $8,000 rent.
That makes a great point, Dad. The average NBA player salary last season was more than 10 million annually. The
There you
WNBA
go.
salary this season is 252,000.
Mm.
Hmm.
What?
Why is her salary so low?
Well, it's economics. The ticket prices, people coming to the games. You don't want to go in deficit paying players more than you're bringing in money. It's just bad business. And businesses don't do that. So the idea is, hey, we're making XYZQ money. This is what we can afford. Now, the good thing for the WNBA this year, attendance has jumped up
Uh,
dramatically, which was really helped. I mean, remember, the NBA back in the 70s, they were not making the kind of money they made in the 80s. When Larry Bird and Magic Johnson got in, the ticket sales got it because everybody wanted to see the games more and stuff. And it's the old thing of supply and demand. It's like this, you want to be a singing star. Do you have an audience that will pay for your voice?
Mm.
And what would that price be if they do pay? Is it $2, $30, $80?
mhm.
You got a lot of people say, "Oh, well, I should be worth." Well, you may think you're worth, but will the people pay what you're worth?
What? Yeah.
In other words, how marketable are you?
Right. And so, like I said, I think I understand what she was trying to do here, and it raises a lot of questions. However, you know, um, if you're not bringing in that money on your day job, even though I have it sparks a lot of stuff, especially since the average price for an apartment in Chicago is 18. You may want to go 25 and still live in
What are you doing with a 8,000? Was she living on the lake or something? I mean,
I would like to see
and
that apartment.
does she have an accountant? I mean, most, I don't for 74,000. I wouldn't imagine you need an accountant, but
she probably needs a
there's
better agent at this point because $74,000.
It's not big money.
No, and maybe
no.
maybe the WNBA has a rookie salary thing like the NBA does, but yeah, that first of all, $74,000 in Chicago,
That isn't anything.
yeah,
I mean, I'm not out there playing ball and getting beat up or anything. However, something looks out of balance here
mm-hmm.
because um, maybe she should have moved after her big paying job.
Lower
After
paying
that,
job. She got more or less a demotion for playing instead of
or does her mother live there? Go live with your mama.
well,
Something
I
make
bel-
do something. It just looks like you're gonna be homeless one day. That's the way it looks.
yeah,
Because you want to say you live in an $8,000 condo or apartment or whatever.
well, we all have done stupid things where but hopefully we learned our lesson when we bought more than what we should actually handle, and it happens to a lot of people. And she is a young lady. Like I said, I think.
How old is she?
Let's see, how old is she? Angel Reese. Hold on, say Angel. Yeah, her what it says here, her age is coming up here in just a second, everybody. So, 22 years old.
Oh my, yeah, she's still
Very
young.
young.
Yeah. She got some things to learn.
Or she's in her 40s.
Yeah, I hope the endorsement deals that she does have because your peak term in making money is very, very small. And if you make a whole lot of it, you want to save more than you spend. And for a
Mhm.
listening audience out there, yeah, you get that big time job and then you want to go eat steak every night. Um,
And she's in a profession where one night of basketball, she could break a leg, or
mhm.
you could have a, how do you say it?
Brain concussion.
No, life-ending, um,
Career-ending injury.
career-ending injury where her basketball playing days would be over.
And she had an injury this year.
Mhm.
So now the question is, are you going to be injury prone? Are we going to invest more money in you? And it is a business because, you get injuries. People want to see you play. Ticket sales go up. Ticket sales will go down. There's a lot to economics here. And
By the way, who does she play for?
the Chicago Sky, you can see her next year.
Sky?
Yeah, the Sky. The W.
Never heard of them.
Um,
No wonder.
Really?
No wonder she's only getting $73,000 a year.
That's good. If you only see her playing next year.
Yeah. Y'all get some tickets. We'll all get some tickets and see Angel Reese play next year.
At the Sky, yeah.
We'll see the Chicago Sky, Dad, and buy some tickets and support her or the ladies basketball.
Oh, so that's what it is. Okay. Del, can you look into that?
Yeah,
And see how much the tickets are for Chicago Sky.
yeah, and if you want to donate to us,
I would rather send her a donation instead of one.
Then to go see her
to
play.
go see it. Well,
Well, I'm sure the tickets will be pretty cheap.
let's just find out the ticket prices there, and let's support Angel Reese in the Sky, Chicago Sky. She's not too far from where we are, and let's just take a whole family trip up there. And if you all
that
want
would
to
be
donate to the
good.
family trip, we don't mind you giving us your donations either.
That's what she wants. That is what she wants us to do. Take a family trip to see Chicago Sky.
Yeah,
I'd rather go see the Bulls, but
Dad, there's not much to watch right now.
they're not much
The Pistons are. Don't sleep on the Pistons this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean they've been in the bottom of the barrel for a while, but the preseason looks like they're doing something. This, we'll see what happens. I want to shout out to my man Malik Beasley, Noah's father. He's from Omaha, Nebraska. His grandfather, actually, I knew his grandfather, Mr. Beasley and stuff. He was an actor, famous actor. You saw him in a lot of stuff and had a chance to meet him. Wonderful person. So, anyway, give a shout out there, but just want to let everybody know, let's go out there and let's support our, Angel Reese. Let's go see a Chicago Sky game next year. Dad, you're the key person to arrange that. Give us the date and stuff, and we'll get the tickets and go and have a good time.
That sounds like good time. Yeah. A good time, Dad.
Yeah, and take a picture with Angel Reese. Hope we get a picture with Angel Reese, after the game. Hopefully they win. And hopefully it's not against. Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're doing what we set out to do, and that is support her, whether they win or not. We still have to support.
Yes, definitely have to support
so that she'll have another year to play.
Yes, and hopefully she's not injured next year when we see her. So anyway, folks, instead of talking about people, we got to try to help people out, make a difference.
That's right.
Hopefully that they can make this world a better place. Till next time, we'll see you on Mom and Dad Talks.